The other day, my friend came up to me and asked me what I thought of the advice, "You have to love yourself before you can love someone else." He was watching one of those dating advice videos, and it's one of the most common things that they'll tell you. I gave him a quick, short answer, but then throughout the day, I was really thinking about that question. It really isn't as simple as some Sigma life guru will go tell you. First of all, what does it mean to love yourself? Many people think of this concept as you have to 100% love yourself for everything, and there can't be a single thing that you dislike about yourself. I really don't like that way of thinking. Could you imagine the people who believe that, thinking they have to be the most perfect person in the world in order to just love someone properly, or even to just be worthy of doing anything else? And then the people that usually say this, they get into the extremes of, if you don't 100% love yourself and you're not 100% independent, or you're not all the way here, then you're going to be dependent in your relationship, if you can even get a relationship, because you're a fat loser who doesn't love yourself and jacks off every day. Now, of course, there's some truth to that, but just because you're not 100% in love with yourself doesn't mean that you can't love someone else. When I think of loving yourself, I think of having self-respect, to not hate yourself all the time, and to do the best that you can to treat yourself and others, no matter what the situation is. Thinking of it like this, you should really be putting loving yourself at the top of your priorities if you're not doing it already. And not just for relationships, the intimate ones, but also for relationships with other people, like your coworkers, your friends, with your family, just life in general. Because if you're not loving yourself at the bare minimum, then you're not going to be treating the others around you the way that they deserve to be treated. Like, if you don't put in the bare amount of effort to treat yourself well, how are you going to be able to treat people any better? You need to treat yourself well. You need that independence. You need those boundaries, and you need that personal growth. That independence doesn't mean that you don't rely on anyone. You're completely your own. You're that lone Sigma wolf or that girl boss. Being independent means that you just have your own identity. You know who you are, and it's not wrapped around someone else. Now, in a healthy relationship, you experience interdependence. Now, you're not two completely independent people. Your identity is partly intertwined with that relationship. And you're also not two people that just entirely depend on each other, but you do support and rely on each other. That's what I was talking about with the whole polar ends of the advice spectrum, because that healthy range is actually in the middle between independent and dependent. When I say boundaries, I'm not just talking about your no square. I'm also, it's also how you let others and yourself. You can't just be spineless and stand up for nothing and expect good things to happen to you. You'll just be letting people walk all over you. Because if you're just letting people walk all over you and bully you into not wanting to hold certain beliefs or certain things about who you are and your identity, that means that you're wrapping your identity around other people who shouldn't even have a say in who you are. You're becoming entirely reliant on that public opinion, and you're not being you. And with the rise of cancel culture, people really are afraid of expressing who they are. But you have to respect yourself enough to stand up for yourself. You can't let your friends, boss, coworkers, partner, or even yourself treat you badly. If your coworker or boss is trying to dump more stuff on you than you're supposed to be doing, you got to be able to stand up for yourself and not let that happen. You can't let your friends use you. You can't let your partner or your family use you. You can't let people bend and mold you into who they want you to be. You have to love yourself enough to respect yourself and have those boundaries. And once you're able to hold those boundaries, you develop that spine and you gain more confidence in turn. Personal growth is the result of that struggle in life when you're going through those rough patches and you fight your way to make it through to the other side. You get to the other side and you learn how to deal with things better and how to do things better, how to treat people better, and how to do more good. You can get personal growth from these relationships, like these intimate relationships when you're going through those rough patches and you have to struggle through and work things out. You know, instead of when you and your partner get into an argument and you let that anger bubble up until you end up hating each other, if you just address it sooner and you guys work it out, that's how you become a better person That's how you learn what things that you shouldn't do that cause harm. That's how you love yourself more. And when you love yourself more, there's, a lot of good things, surprisingly, that happen. You'll emanate that better energy that attracts better people. These high value people are drawn to that positive, self-loving, and high energy. It's much easier to find a good partner and surround yourself with those good people. And when the bad people, like maybe your bad friends or your boss, is trying to walk all over you, and they see that you're comfortable in your own skin and that you're not going to take it from anyone, they're going to end up respecting you whether you like it or not, and they're going to treat you better, all just because you loved yourself. But hey, I'm just yapping. Thanks for tuning in. If you have a topic you'd like for me to discuss or a question you'd like me to answer, please write me a nice letter in the form in the description. This video took a nice little while because my house is currently being reconstructed inside because the interior AC unit decided to break and leak water into our walls. It has to be replaced and repainted. So thank you all so much for watching. Like, sub, and until we meet again.